Deputy Prime Minister, thank you so much for joining us on China Daily Speak Talk.
It's my pleasure.
First of all, have you been to China before, and what's your impression this time?
Yes, this is my second visit. I visited your country 9 years ago in a different capacity. And I also had the opportunity to visit Shanghai and Beijing, the same as this time. And as much as I was impressed then, I must say that I am astonished to see how great a progress your country achieved in 9 years' time only. So it's difficult to recognize the Beijing, it's difficult to recognize the places I've visited before. So I congratulate you on that.
See, last year in 2014, China and Slovakia celebrated 65th anniversary of the diplomatic relations. And during the past 65 years, we have experienced a lot of achievements. Meanwhile, there are a lot of rough patches as well. So, Deputy Prime Minister, how do you evaluate such a cooperation during the past 65 years?
Well, as you said, then Czechoslovakia was among the first countries who recognized the new China. And last autumn we celebrated 65 years of our diplomatic relations. We have been, both of us, through many changes, many challenges, but we've never remained being friends. And I can tell you that for my country, for Slovakia, China has always been seen as a great country and a very good friend of our people and of my country. Both China and Slovakia underwent major transformation and major social, economic, and in our case also political changes. And we can learn from each other. The scope is different. Of course, what are you doing? It's much, much bigger. But what is similar is the fact that it takes courage and a responsibility of political leaders to go for these changes. And it's not easy for people. But when you look back, you see that it really paid off, because it changed life of your people. It has strengthened further the international standing of your country, and it has equally helped us. So our responsibility, our meaning the political leaders of both our countries today, is to project the future development of our relations. We have relatively good figures of our trade turnover, but we should think about more modern ways of cooperation. What can we do in research and development, how to develop new technologies? Because I think the challenges are the same. We are successful thanks to the high productivity of our people, but we have to think more and more about the environment, about the sustainability of our economic growth. And here we can at least listen to each other. We are planning to host the session of our Joint Committee for Economic and Trade Cooperation. It's a bilateral organ later this year, and we expect that this will be also a platform to generate new ideas for the successful continuation of our friendship and cooperation.
I see. This year, 2015, also marks the 40th anniversary of the diplomatic relations between China and the European Union.
Yes.
So how do you think that China and Slovakia could work together to bring our diplomatic relations to a next level within within the EU framework?
Well, Slovakia is a very active and a positive member of the European Union. Membership in the European Union has changed the life of our people for better. And at the same time, we brought into the European Union our know-how, our expertise, our historical memory, and also our friendship with regard to your great country. And this is what we are trying to promote also within the internal discussions of the European Union. This year, as you said, is an important year. We are celebrating 40 years of our diplomatic relations. We shall have a summit meeting, which will be the first summit meeting with the new European Commission, new European institutions. And since China and European Union are two major global partners, for China, European Union is the first trade partner for European Union. China is second. We trade €1 billion every day, so it's really huge. And this also shows how responsible this relationship is. We have our common agenda called EU-China 2020 program, and I think we shall have the ambition to be jointly together global leaders in setting positive agendas and in pushing and driving these agendas forward.
The current Chinese leadership features a very interesting topic this year, is to build a Silk Road economic belt. So what do you think Slovakia can do in this major political agenda?
We know, we like and we support this initiative. We believe it's a win-win idea, an idea or a project that brings benefits both to China and to my country and to my region, because we are trading nations, and this idea is meant to make it easy or more easy for transport of goods, communication of people, for logistical conditions, and so on and so forth. So we are planning to play an active part in this project, because infrastructure is the key to success.
I see. I've just heard from your embassy guys saying that part of your adventure in China was staged on the Chinese bullet train this morning. You actually traveled from Shanghai to Beijing by the bullet train. So does it mean that there are possible business opportunities between China and Slovakia in regard of high-speed railway constructions?
I'm well aware of the tremendous progress your country has achieved, including the building up of highways and the speedy trains, and I wanted to experience the bullet trains I saw and I heard so much about, so to say, firsthand. So I chose to use the bullet train to get from Shanghai to Beijing, and it was a very positive experience, and it also helped me, or it gave me the chance to see the countryside and to get the better feeling of your country. And speaking about the possible cooperation, well, the size of my country is not large enough for the construction of similar bullet trains with this speed, but there is lots of potential for infrastructural cooperation. And let me mention one concrete example. Within the China plus 16 countries of Central and Eastern Europe format, there has been agreed on one important project of the speedy train connection between Budapest and Belgrade. Budapest is close to my capital city, Bratislava, and we would like to explore the potential of extending this railway further to the north through Slovakia, Poland to the Baltic Sea, and we are informed about the plans to extend it also to the south up to Athens in Greece. So, and that would of course give it trans-European importance and would have the potential to change the infrastructural map of Europe.
I see. Can you elaborate like the mission about your visit this time, and how do you project the future of China-Slovakia relations?
My visit of the Foreign Minister of Slovakia comes 7 years after the last visit of Slovak Foreign Minister to your great country. So this is obviously a welcomed opportunity to assess the progress of our bilateral relations, to express our views about the potential and about the future development of our relations in political dialogue, in economic area, and also in the cultural, scientific, and people-to-people dimensions. At the same time, apart from the bilateral platform, we will also be discussing the possibility of cooperation within the Visegrad 4 plus China format. We'll be discussing the China plus 16 Central Eastern European countries format, and we will also speak about EU-China cooperation, because these are all the formations Slovakia is part of. And obviously this is a welcome opportunity to exchange views on a number of global issues, and it's always useful to hear from someone who is not necessarily your neighbor or part of the same region, but we are all facing the same threats, the same challenges, and therefore this exchange of views is extremely useful.
I see. Deputy Prime Minister, thank you so much for joining us today on China's Big Talk. Thank you.
I thank you very much.